Hi, my name is Sedra Olabi, and I am a sophomore, class of 2025, and my pronouns is she, her.
My name is Isabella Howard. I'm class of 2025, and my pronouns are she, her.
I'm Sam Osius, class of 23, he, they.
I'm Lucy Abell. I'm class of 2023. My pronouns are she, her.
My name is Yelena Fleming. I'm a sophomore, class of 2025, and my pronouns are she, they.
Ooh, look up when you're walking. You used to always look down, and multiple people told you, why are you looking down when you're walking? I think that really created low esteem inside of me, and even people who would try to perceive me at the first interaction or whatever, they would always think that I'm really shy. I have nothing to do other than studying, or like I didn't do anything. I'm a really boring person. However, I feel like just looking up while you're walking gives you more confidence, and the fact that you started to do that more often until you became a more social person, have your friends and circles. Just pretend it until you fake it. Fake it. Wait, what is it?
Fake it till you make it.
Fake it till you fake it till you make it. Fake it till you make it, and I think that's what you needed a lot once, like before. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That's a hard question. Because I was thinking like I could talk to my freshman year self, but like whatever I'd say to my freshman year self doesn't really matter because the pandemic kind of screwed everything. I guess sort of the answer is usually yes. Don't be afraid to try things, and don't say no to opportunities just because you're afraid you might not be able to do it. I've definitely turned down a few things just because I wasn't sure if I could pull it off, and looking back, I totally would have been able to. And I try to take that with me carrying forward is like, just give it a shot. And I mean, if you screw it up, you screw it up. But a lot of times you can surprise yourself.
On one level, I don't know that I would give my past self any advice, because if I did, I wouldn't have learned from the same things that I learned from, that I think I needed to experience. But just sort of speaking to myself in hindsight, I think I would tell myself that I'm more important than I think I am. I tend to still kind of devalue my own relevance to other people and to myself and to the world generally. Like I'm sort of make myself a side character even in my own like internal narrative, and I think I've gotten better about that, but past me was really, really bad about that, and I think that would be something that I would really benefit from hearing, even if I didn't act on it.
Probably calm down. Stop worrying about everything. It'll be okay. One, don't be afraid to go for what you want, because I don't know, maybe it's just like being socialized like as a girl, but like you're really taught to like, be nice, like don't be too like aggressive, but like if you want something, like go get it. Like you're allowed to have the things that you want. You're allowed to be who you want. You can do whatever you put your mind to, because sometimes I was like, what if I like go for this and it doesn't work out? Or like, what if I'm like shooting too high or like whatever? And sometimes things don't work out, sometimes they do work out, and you don't know unless you try it. So you just kind of have to go for it, and trust me, you'll fall a lot. You will fall so many times, and that crap will hurt. Like that, sorry, but that shit will hurt. That it hurts so much, but you'll be better for it in ways that you could have never imagined or fathomed or conceptualized, and you'll grow as a person in ways that you could have never imagined. So I guess that's what I would tell myself, is that it hurts, keep going, like feel your feelings, but like keep going.
I have no idea. It's hard to choose one.
It's a process because I've always thought about the final product And whenever I try to do something, I always think, oh, it gotta be like this, you know? But I think taking small steps is what matters, and you're gonna reach that thing at some point without even you realizing. And once you're there, you're gonna look back and you'll be like, wow, I did this. It was just small steps and it just got me there throughout the time. So, yeah, I think it's just a process. Just take small steps.
One that has stuck with me, and it's one I received at a younger age, so I guess I'll choose it because it has seniority, it's got some tenure in my mind, is when I was probably about 12, 13-ish, my uncle, who's a diplomat, was talking to me about working for the U.S. Embassy overseas. And he was just like, wherever you go, whether it's a new country, a new organization, a new school, a new job, it's all about respect. Even if you don't necessarily like somebody that much, if you can understand where they're coming from and really try to understand that. Not just like, oh, I think I know, but like, why are they this way? Why are they angry? Why are they acting this way? That it'll just get you a lot farther if you have a more profound, respectful understanding of the environment that you're in. And that's something that I try to take with me everywhere, whether I'm traveling or I'm in a new class or meeting new people or I'm in a new club or I'm getting a new job. That has really served me well.
You miss 100% of the stuff that you don't take. Definitely, like it's a slightly basic, but it's like a classic one. Because like sometimes I'll be on the phone with my mom and I'll be like, oh, like, what if I apply to this thing, but then I'm like, what if I don't get it? And, and she has to like remind me that like, like you're good at what you do, like you're qualified. Like sometimes I need like that extra confidence because I don't want to be like arrogant with feeling that I'm worth it. Like those are two things that don't necessarily coincide with each other, but they sometimes conflict with my brain because I don't be like, yeah, I'm so awesome, but I'm like, what if I'm like actually not?
I think one of the most important things that I've learned in my relatively short existence as a human being is the importance of, this sounds deeply cheesy, but the importance of honesty, not only with other people, but particularly with yourself. I'm really, really good at lying to myself about various things. And I do it to make myself more comfortable at the time. And as I've gotten older, have tried more and more and more to not do that because I think I learned from experiencing like that I do it and then it like has horrible consequences for me and I'm miserable and it backfires. And so I've tried more and more and more to not do that and to think about why I might be inclined to tell myself something about an experience or a feeling or whatever that isn't the truth, and also to be honest with other people because in the end that's going to work out better for you. Even if it seems like it's going to suck the minute that you do it, it works better when you get to the end of whatever thing it is you'd rather fight about.
If you want something to happen, you have to do it. Which sounds really stupid. It really does. But like, if you have all of these goals and you want to do all of these things, the only thing holding you back is you waiting. Don't wait. Just do it. Self-confidence is so important in this life. Like, if you don't try, like, you'll never make it. Like, I was applying to a bunch of, like, summer internships because I was like, oh, I need something to do over the summer. But then, like, they were, like, highly competitive. And I was like, what if I don't get it? I was like, what if they don't like my application? I was like, what if I'm not, like, highly qualified enough? Like, what if my GPA is not good enough? Like, all these what ifs. And my parents were like, just try it. Like, you don't know what's going to happen, so just, like, try it. Like, you're good at school. You're a really good writer. And, they were like, you're our daughter, we believe in you. So I was like, okay. And I felt really loved by that. So self-confidence is like so important. And I being fortunate enough to get one of the internships that I did. And I just think like if I was too scared to like not apply, or I was like really like letting my insecurities like take over and like keep asking like what if I'm not qualified enough. And turns out I was qualified enough, like luckily enough. And I'm very fortunate in that. So I think self-confidence is extra super important because like no one is going to advocate yourself as best you can for yourself, and especially for like women, I think it's really important because, you know, we're not really given a seat at the table, unfortunately. So you kind of have to, in the words of Shirley Chisholm, like if you don't have a seat at the table, you have to bring your own.
Ew.
I hate growing older. My knees hurt, my back hurts, I'm always tired. If I don't get like 8 hours of sleep, I'm like angry.
I talk about this with my dorm mates all the time, weirdly enough. Like, we're all sitting there on my floor and we're like, damn, we're getting older.
It's really scary. I don't think I thought about it that it's a scary thing before, but maybe college taught me that it's scary. There's a lot of expectation.
I'm cool with it. One of my aunts always talked about, when I was a kid, she always talked about the fact that I was 4 going on 40, which I think had more to do with like how weird and serious I was, but I like being an adult. And the idea of growing older and having more life experience is something that really kind of appeals to me. I would like to be able to think about things from a position of having lived a life rather than from a position of I haven't done anything yet. So growing older does kind of appeal to me from that perspective.
When you're young, the thing you want the most is to be old and to have freedom and to do the things you see adults doing. And then as soon as you have the freedom to do those things, you're like, God, I wish I was young again. Like, what a paradox.
I'm at a weird point right now because I'm about to graduate, I have a job, I'm gonna be moving to a big new city, starting the next chapter in life. I've been in school forever, and now I'm about to not be. And so that's really scary in a lot of ways, but also super exciting. And although I would be happy with another year in college, I think I'm ready to move on. I think that's okay. I'm excited just to have some more freedom, to have some money, to be able to travel. But getting older is scary. And I feel like I'm at the point where now I'm 22, and for my whole life I've been looking forward to the next birthday, and now I'm happy where I am. And that's been an interesting shift in the last few years, is being like, this is a great age, I'm okay with this. And then starting to have to realize that pretty soon I'm going to have to confront like my 30s.
So maybe like on the surface, I am a little frightened about not necessarily aging, but the responsibilities that and new freedoms and autonomy that come with that. Because I'm like, am I ready to take this on yet at this point in my life? And it's something that's available to me, and I'm like, oh, like I'm gonna be like acquiring like some new things, like some new like responsibilities and feelings, and like I think the fact that like you're leaving your teen years behind, at least for me, I'm gonna be turning 20 in May, so I'm like, whew, like the clock is like creeping up for like life plans, like graduate school and like other research and like career plan. That's just like life's like coming at us like really fast, and like aging makes me like reflect on that.
I don't know, when I was a kid, I was like, oh my God, I can't wait to just become an adult. I thought I can do so many things. Yes, we can, but still, like whatever we were looking from a point of view of a kid. But once we are an adult, it's much different. So I think it is really scary. There's a lot of expectation. However, I feel like even if we're 50 years old, there is still going to be fear of us getting older and older, even though we'll be like, we are old in the eye of the 20 years old stuff. So I think yeah, I'm just really scared of being old, but at the same time, I want to accept it whenever I'm in that age.
But then like when I think about it, I guess like more deeply, I feel very privileged to be aged, because like I guess we forget that like aging's a privilege, because I feel like in this society like we're always trying to be like, you know, look younger or like feel younger or all that kind of stuff, instead of like reflecting on like that it is an extreme, for lack of a better word, blessing to be able to count the years and celebrate them with people that you love, and just to be able to like grow old with people that you love, because like sometimes like we're not afforded that, and you don't know, like it feels so existential when life's gonna end or when life gets off track. And like I don't know, I'm just very thankful that I'm able to say that I'm turning 20 and that I'm able to do that with the people that I love because they have aged in a way that allows me to be with them and them to be with me, and I hope they can continue to do so for a long time. Because sometimes, like as you age, like personally, I think about like my grandparents because like as I get older, they get older too, and like at one point they're not going to be there anymore. So I'm like, oh, yeah, aging definitely makes you appreciate what you have because it's not going to be there one day, and I forget about that sometimes. But it's sad, but then you, I don't want to say you can't dwell on the sadness, but like instead like dwell on like the happiness that you have in this present moment while everything is chilling as it will be. So yeah, aging, it's scary, but it's also a privilege a lot of us take for granted, I think.
I don't know, nothing extremely profound to say about reflection other than do it. Take the time out of your day and do it. It seems, I don't know, it seems pointless, but it's not.
I guess maybe like in general, like reflection is like for me, it's like if you're going on like a hike and the hike's a little grueling, like you're a little sweaty and you're like kind of regretting that you decided to take the hike, even though you're like, but the nature, and you're like, I actually want to die. But then you get to the top and then you look down and you're like, wow, I did that. And you're like, wow, I did that. And I can probably do more of it. So I guess reflecting is like that. It's like the process of like getting there may be like grueling and difficult, but like the end result is so worth it. Seeing like who you are, what you're made of, what you can do, and subsequently like where you can go from there.
I wish I knew what reflection was. Like I do theoretically. I feel like it's sort of like consciousness. You know what it is until somebody asks you to describe it, and then you're a little lost. I think it takes a lot of forms now that I'm thinking about it, and sort of like what is reflection? How do I use it in my life? What does it mean? It pops up all over the place in my memory, and sort of who I am in my routines and the things I do. Is it really one thing? I don't know.
When you ask me the first, what do you think about, or what's the first thing you think about when you like hear the word reflection? I'm thinking back again to it, and I think it brings me back to the mirror when you look at yourself, and the fact that whatever we see in the mirror is actually different from the real face, and I didn't really know that until like last year or something. The fact that people see my face differently and whatever I see in the mirror is different is actually not the real me. Kind of scary, but at the same time, it goes back to the idea of reflection to yourself and the past and the future. Whatever happens in the past, it has a different view once you are in the present moment. So I think it's really important to realize that whatever happened in the past is going to happen, and whatever is going to happen in the future is going to happen. To just like live the moment and also love yourself. I know a lot of people who don't like their, real face, whatever the people see, and they really rely on whatever they see in the mirror. So I'm a little bit one of them, but it's okay. I'm trying to get used to it. But yeah, so yeah, love yourself, I guess.